Hello again. Welcome back to the Never to Grow Up video blog, which focuses on violence in our schools and how we can help slow it down or possibly even stop it. I want to touch on the two incidents that have happened over the last couple of weeks. First one in Appington Parkersburg High School in Parkersburg, Iowa. Last week when the award-winning coach Ed Thomas was shot and killed by a former student. Ed Thomas had been in the educational system as a football coach for 37 years and had sent 4 players to the NFL from a high school with only 1,800 residents in the entire town. And probably half of that because of the surrounding area were in the school. That was a great accomplishment. Mark Becker, a former student, graduated roughly 6 years ago, has had a number of run-ins with the law and police and hinted at there have been some mental issues as well over the past few months. Just this past Tuesday, June the 30th, a former student at Cody High School in Detroit, Michigan, got out of a van along with a friend and shot 7 other students standing at a bus stop waiting for their bus after summer school had let out. Both of these incidents illustrate the point that school violence doesn't necessarily just take place during the school year. Ed Thomas was shot in the weight room of the high school running an off-season training program for his players. The other students were concerned with getting the credits they needed so that they can graduate and move on and get the grades they need in order to go on to college. For those of you that receive my newsletter, you will be receiving the special issue school violence newsletter in the next day or two. This newsletter details the incidents that have happened in the 2008-2009 school year that have been listed only in the media. There's been no investigation or research on my part. These are only the incidents that I've culled from media reports, radio, television, newspaper, and internet. Now to the main focus of this blog. What is school violence? When I asked that at one of some of my Never to Grow Up seminars, the obvious answer comes back: it's violence that happens at school. But is that actually the case? School violence / school-related violence can happen anywhere. The definition will be if an incident begins at school and ends off campus, then it is a school-related violence incident. Such as what happened at Plattsburgh High School, Plattsburgh, Missouri. Over the past several years, students have been being bullied by the bullies in the school. They have been taken out to a private rendezvous point off campus where the bullies can face their victims face to face and beat the holy hell out of them. And when that person falls, the bully gets the second one up, and it just keeps going until as many as 4 or 5 students have had the holy hell beat out of them by one bully or several. Nobody reported this until this past school year. It's been going on for a minimum of 5 years. That is school violence. An incident that happened in Phoenix 2 years ago and also in Tampa, Florida 2 years ago. Boy and girl fall in love as only high school students can do, teenagers can do. They break up. The boyfriend accosts the girlfriend while she's on her way home from school, walking through the neighborhood. He shoots and kills her and then turns the firearm on himself and commits suicide. Is that school violence? Yes, it is. Why? Because it started at school. Vice versa, an incident that starts off campus and ends on campus obviously is school violence. What most people cannot understand by my redefinition of school violence is why it would be considered that off campus. And I think I've explained that. The statistics do not bear out the number of students that are assaulted, bullied, intimidated, or murdered off campus. They only take into account those that have been assaulted on campus, which skews the numbers significantly. If the bus stop is 2 blocks away from the school and 7 students get shot, is it considered school violence? Well, obviously so. It happened in Cody High School in Detroit on June the 30th this year. We need to be thinking and redefining what school violence is so we can take better steps and measures to slow down, if not stop, violence in our schools and protect our kids as best as we can without overprotecting them, being helicopter parents, filing lawsuits, and so on. In my next blog, I am going to talk about what the parental responsibilities are in helping to stop or slow down school violence. Thank you for watching, and as always, if you have any comments, just send them via email.